The regular season against these Pirates. A special giveaway to the first 10,000 females 14 and older. And we will retire number 10. That Ron Santo number retirement ceremony starts at 12:40 sharp. We can't wait for that. And we hope you'll be able to join us as the Cubs have built a 6-run lead for Matt Clement. Tyke Redmond bounced to second to open up the ball game. One and two is your count. In the American League Baseball, Seattle and Oakland are tied 4-4 after 4. Toronto and Cleveland. That's a 5-3 Toronto game. How about Delgado? 4 home runs and 4 at-bats the other day for the Blue Jays. Sharply hit, lined over first, and Eric Karros, who has a future in Major League umpiring, gets the call right.
Gonna help him out. Boy, how many times this year have we slowed down balls down the left field line and right field line?
All's right with the world at the moment. Line drive, that's also in fair territory, and Tyke Redmond has been a real find for this Pittsburgh ball club. There's a board leading off our 3rd inning of play.
Well, left-handed hitters hitting 30 points better against Matt Clement than right-handed hitters, and you can see why there. That slider coming into a left-handed hitter, and Redmond has really surprised me in how quick he is on some pitches. At Pittsburgh last week, turned around a Mark Cryer fastball down the right field line.
He was a guy taken off the 40-man roster for Pittsburgh. When Lofton got traded to the Cubs, he got the opportunity to play every day, and he's played real well for them. Now, I don't know if he's going to be the guy every day next year for them, or barring any other alternatives in what figures to be a low payroll club for Pittsburgh. He's going to get a shot in spring training. Ball, 2 strikes to Nunez. The Cubs with a 5-run second. And that's lined out of play. This game might have extra sweetness for the Cubs. On Friday, Drayton McClain, the owner of the Houston Astros, trying to fire up his troops, said that they, meaning Houston, were going to clinch the division on Saturday. They got the pronoun right. They are going to clinch, assuming the score holds. But the day's not Houston. It's going to be the Cubs. 1-2 your count. Back door not open. 2-2. Runner leads from first. That's Redmond. Fly ball, right field. Softly hit. Sammy comes in. He's played very well today. 1 man down. Here's Makoviak.
I don't know how that would motivate a ball club. A comment like that from Drayton McClain, certainly very respected as an owner of the Houston Astros. But would that motivate you, Houston, in a scenario like that? One of the things that with Dusty Baker this year, and I've seen it on the opposite side, but how he gets his ball club motivated and ready to play every day. When you go up and down the major leagues and players that have played for Dusty Baker, well, they just love to play for him.
And if the Cubs again finish this thing off today, you and I will be down in the locker room for what we hope will be the celebration. And we'll ask some of the guys what that it is. I mean, we've all speculated about it. They're not in that locker room every day as the players are. I think we alluded to some of the magic, and he plays everybody. Everybody feels like they have a part to play. As Makoviak bounces a shot to right field, Redmond will head to third without incident. And the Pirates are bouncing singles all over the ballpark right now. First and third, 5 hits, and here's Wilson, who singled his first time up.
Carroll's holding Redmond on over at first base. I think it is intangible.
No balls and a strike. Steve Stone has said all the time, and Earl Weaver used to say, good chemistry is good starting pitching. The Cubs have certainly been blessed with that.
I really compare this staff to what the Oakland A's have done. It's just a relentless pitching staff.
That's why nobody wants to play this Cub club. As Kerry Woods look-alike bats for the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Good one on the ground right here. 6 double plays grounded into from Wilson this year. You think?
A little bit. Leading 6-0. 5-run second. Chased Ryan Vogelsong. Now the 1-2. Sharply hit. Carroll. Second for 1. First for 2. Clement fired up. He got the ground ball he needed. Inning over. Middle of the 3rd inning. Cubs 6. Pirates nothing.
There's a state where there's fun around every corner, where all cars are turbocharged, and there's a direct link between the right foot and a smile. Maybe that's why people who test drive a Saab usually buy one. This is the state of independence. Welcome.
Get attractive year-end pricing on a 2003 Saab 9.3 linear sports sedan, now available for as low as $299 a month.
Pay bills online free with free checking from Bank of America. Higher standards.
Before a small business owner buys something new for their business, they make sure it's right for their business. So we're making it easy to find out if SBC Yahoo DSL Business Edition is right for you. Go to sbc.com BizDSL to learn how it can help you do more quickly for less than you'd expect. Just $29.95 a month guaranteed. Seeing small business differently. SBC.
The biggest stars are on the best damn sports show, period. Please welcome Samuel Jackson. Weeknights on Fox Sports Net.
Here's our Bank of America playing to a higher standard. 10 years ago today, the White Sox clinched the AL West title.
Looks up, you can't put it in the ball.
Bo Jackson, what a player he was.
After hip replacement.
Well, it was 14 years ago yesterday the Cubs clinched their last division title as Ramirez sends that one up in the air on the infield. Nunez backs up, makes the play. Ramirez pops out. But since divisional play, the Cubs have never clinched on their home field. They clinched a wild card. That was in game 163, but a division title, an entirely different experience for them. And we are 6 innings away from that potentiality today. Eric Karros, a single and a run scored. Cubs got a solo home run from Sammy Sosa in the first. That was number 40. 5 runs on 5 hits in the second. And that's where we stand now at 6-zip. Downstairs, 2 balls and a strike.
113th game this year for Eric Karros. And the biggest adjustment for him this year is not being in that lineup every day. Last couple of years with the Dodgers, because of his back, was not in the lineup.
Chop toward third. Hernandez handles cleanly. 2 men down.
And you always worry about a veteran making that adjustment to becoming that role player, and he has handled this with the utmost professionalism. The Cubs acquiring Randall Simon, and Simon doing a terrific job, and Karros splitting time with Simon. And that the added luxury of that is Dusty Baker able to play matchups, lefty-righty.
And don't forget, too, early in the season, the Cubs were playing Hee-Seop Choi a lot. Many feel is still going to be the first baseman of the future for this club. But Eric knew that this was a club, especially after Corey Patterson got hurt, that this was a team that needed some left-handed balance. When the game started taking on more and more importance and the struggles of Choi continued, and Eric could be the first to tell you that the overall success of this club was far greater than a chance for him to play every day. That's not the stage of his career he finds himself. And because of him being smart enough to understand and accept his role, which is the important part of it, he's been able to stay sharp and stay very effective for this Cub team.
And that is not an easy thing to do.
For a strike to Martinez. 3 balls and a strike. Bases clear, 2 out.
We just got to look at Corey Patterson in the stands and what a big part of this Cubs season this year Corey Patterson is back. Good to see that he's doing well, and hopefully he'll be ready this spring. Boy, that is a superstar in progress.
3-2 to Martinez. Boy is rehabbing his knee down in Atlanta, Georgia Tech. And you're right, everybody's hoping he will be ready to go in March. High fly twisting down the right field line. That ball is going to find its way into the stands. Houston lost 5-2 today. Scott Posednik had a huge game. 3 hits, 3 runs. And Posednik is going to get a great deal of consideration for the Rookie of the Year honors in the National League. Certainly Dontrell Willis will earn some of those as well. Popped up back toward us and out of play.
For that matter, Brandon Webb.
I think it's a 2-horse race between Posednik and Willis, and were I to vote, I would probably give it to the everyday player, Posednik. He's been that good for Milwaukee. Fly ball hit to right. Makoviak chased back shy of the track, and the Cubs half of the 3rd inning is in the books. 3 up, 3 down. We go to the 4th. All Cubs in game 2, 6-0.
A 9-time All-Star with 342 home runs, 5 Gold Gloves, one of the greatest Cubs of all time. Ron, you're a 10 both on and off the field. Congratulations on your number being retired. from all your friends at Fox Sports Net Chicago and your Chicago and Northwest Indiana Chevy dealers.
The only love I have in my life.
Jay!
So don't tell me who to love. You have no idea how I feel.
Excuse me. Yeah. Can I get my groom man on someone? Cause I see some ladies tonight that should be hanging with
Jay.
Jay said, excuse me, miss. What's your name? Can you come hang with me?
I told him I was leaving.
Sensational play.
What?
They're down by 10 at the half. Now they come.
Excuse me. Look again. Look again.
Ford truck season is here, and the world's #1 selling truck, the 2003 Ford F-150, now offers 0% financing for 60 months or $4,000 total cash back. Save big on a new 2003 F-150, and check out the next F-150. The truck critics are calling the best pickup ever. Ford truck season at your local Ford store. Be there.
Where you been? Look again.
Frank Thomas and the Sox look to finish the year off strong, as the Royals' loaded attack is sure to make it a fight to the finish. White Sox, Royals, tomorrow at 12:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Here we go to our 4th inning. The Duck are a little silent right now as the Cubs lead by 6. And who's the first National League team in 50 years with at least 3 players having hit streaks of 20 games or more?
I could stay in this box for the next 5 days and I'd never come up with that.
Or until opening day 2004. Well, they're doing their best. As legendary voice of the Cubs, Jack Brickhouse, used to say, anybody can have a bad century. And I think that the comments Jim Hendry made upon hiring Dusty Baker are worth repeating. As Carlos Rivera leads things off here in the 4th inning. He struck out his first time up. Dan Roan of WGN Sports was interviewing Jim Hendry and said, everybody loves a winner with regards to Dusty Baker. And Jim Hendry said, we're going to win and they're going to love him. Fly ball center. Rivera easy out number 1 in the 4th inning. And you cannot underestimate Jim Hendry's job this offseason in reshaping and remaking this Cub ball club. All Jim Hendry has said, I don't care about awards, I don't care about honors, all I want to do is win the games. And Jim Hendry knew that his offseason jobs were to rebuild the bullpen. He had to move Todd Hundley. That was an experiment that did not work out well for either party. And he wanted to get a man in that dugout who shared his vision of winning and winning for a long time. He waited out the field and got his man Dusty Baker, a move that surprised, I think, Dave, a lot of people in baseball, not only for its success, but for the audacity and brashness with which Jim patiently awaited for his plan to be executed.
This turnaround started on November 15th, the day that Dusty Baker was hired.
But having said that, Dusty Baker has molded this club and gotten them thinking and believing that they can win every day. As Bay skies that to center. Again, the wind blowing out. Lofton still going back. Over the basket catch. What a grab. Say, hey, baby, that's some kind of effort. That'll make the highlight reel. 2 out.
You don't mind seeing that number right there. You feel comfortable as a pitcher when you see that number 7. That is straight over his head, and he ran to a spot.
So 2 quick outs in the 4th. Here's Wilson. And there's Jim Hendry, the fine general manager of the Cubs. Wearing his good luck shirt today.
Hotel gift shop. You know what also Jim did is he built a bench Guys with rolls.
Another fly ball chance for Lofton. Again, he's on the run. He's calling off Sosa. Kenny, a record held by many. 3 putouts. 4th inning in the books. Cubs look to add to their 6-run lead.
Not too close. What do you think? I got that insurance?
What insurance is that, Yogi?
The one you really need to have. If you don't have it, that's why you need it.
Need what?
Well, if you get hurt and miss work, it won't hurt to miss work. And they give you cash, which is just as good as money.
Aflac. Ask about it at work.
September is clearance month at your Dodge dealers. It's your chance to make 0 down payment, 0 payments for 6 months, and get 0% APR financing. Or choose generous cash allowances of up to $4,500 on 2003 models. Plus, you'll get Dodge's 7-year, 70,000-mile powertrain limited warranty. 0 in on all the savings during September clearance month. Now through September 30th. See your Dodge dealer for the best values in America.
Calling all Cubs fans. Bring your favorite team home year-round with Vineline, the official monthly magazine of the Chicago Cubs. Published out of the Cubs' own friendly confines, Vineline delivers expert team analysis, exclusive player features, outstanding photography, and more. Call 773-404-CUBS to order today and receive a free gift with your subscription. Rates start at just $22.95. Call 773-404-CUBS to order today. Start your Sunday with NASCAR this morning. Get the inside track from the pre-race show that'll have your motor running before the green flag drops. NASCAR this morning on Fox Sports Net.
Well, Dave, I can't believe you didn't guess Carmen Fanzone being one of those 20-plus hitting streak guys. I mean, that's Steve Stone's perpetual guess. Our Aflac trivia question.
And Davey Rosella?
Could be, yeah. What's the answer? Pittsburgh Pirates. Kendall, Ramirez, and Lofton all had long hitting streaks. And Paul Bacco sends a shot to center. Tyke Redmond gives a little ground. And it looks like we're approaching the stage of this game as Joe Beimel is in, where both the Cubs and Pirates want to move this game along a little bit. Cubs have a 6-run lead. That's not to say either team's trying to take anything for granted. But the Cubs have to feel awfully confident with the way Clement's throwing the baseball. And with a real rested bullpen. And obviously the ramifications of this victory will be huge, for it allows Dusty Baker now to juggle his rotation. Kerry Wood was scheduled to go tomorrow. You got to think he ain't going tomorrow. He'd go game 1 in Atlanta.
So makes this game obviously so critical at this point. Have Kerry Wood open up your postseason. Time's running out for Matt Clement also, by the way.
Still looking for
that home run.
The home run, yeah.
And a car would be given to Matt Clement, I believe.
Is that?
That's a bet. If he hits a home run.
Well, everybody else who started has hit one except him. Why does he get the car? Because he's the last, or what's the?
No, because the rest of the pitching staff felt like there was no way that Matt Clement.
Oh, I see.
Would go yard this year.
Well, how about Barry Larkin the other day, speaking of cars? Larkin probably won't return to the Reds, although nothing is certain. Clement takes strike 3. Barry Larkin, 18 years with the Cincinnati Reds.
That was great.
Buys a brand new Mercedes for Rick Stowe, the equipment manager in Cincinnati, as his way of saying thank you for all he did.
No, I think they would buy Clement a bright orange Yugo if he were to go. But that was a terrific on the part of Barry Larkin.
Beimel has 2 outs. Top of the order now, Kenny Lofton. He struck out, walked, and scored. And made a wonderful catch in the middle of that 4th inning for Pittsburgh.
That's normally a pitch that Clement drives somewhere, that last pitch that he took. Just keep throwing up those goose eggs.
That's it. Cubs finally got a chance to control their own destiny. The Milwaukee Brewers beat them last night down in Houston in a game that shocked the entire baseball world. The Cubs came out in game 1 behind Mark Pryor, took advantage of it. And now here today in the nightcap, 5 innings away from a division title. What I'll be interested in is not so much the reaction to this crowd, because I think they're going to go absolutely crazy here at the ballpark, but the reaction of these players and Dusty Baker. I think Dusty, after his experience with the Giants last year and getting all the way to within 1 game of a World's Championship, he better than anyone else in that locker room understands that this is going to be 1 step in the process. There's still a lot of work to be done.
1 step of 4 total. But to win a division, the culmination of 162 games and grinding it out every day like the Cubs have this year. This is pretty special.
Lofton throws the bat at the ball and comes up empty. And it's a scoreless bottom half of our 4th inning. We go to the 5th. Cubs still leading 6-0.
The new 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix with optional driver's package has aluminum wheels, wide track handling, and the largest V6 in its class. Chicagoland, it's a rush, hour after hour. And now get a 2004 Pontiac Grand Prix with driver's package for around $229 a month with Smart Buy financing. Residency restrictions apply. Call for details. This is not a lease. Own your Grand Prix today. See your Chicagoland Pontiac dealer.
Hey, we're new in town. We followed some friends out and came to work for Joe's Crab Shack. Let's go, show them what you got. You know where this Joe's Crab Shack is?
Head to Joe's Crab Shack and enjoy steak and fried shrimp for only $10.99. Tender, juicy, top sirloin steak grilled to perfection, served with your choice of coconut or fried shrimp for only $10.99.
Don't you know you gotta go eat at Joe's? Go Claw! He always wanted a boy. She hits both ways, you know.
No matter where life takes you, Verizon Wireless lets you stay in touch anytime. Hurry and get unlimited, that's right, unlimited night and weekend minutes to use coast to coast on the America's Choice Network. And when you act now, you can save big on select LG phones, so you can keep up with friends and family all across the country all the time. Verizon Wireless, we never stop working for you.
Can you hear me now? Good? Nice on Fox Sports Net.
Welcome back to Wrigley Field for this Pontiac in-game update. I'm Gail Fisher, and Sammy Sosa got the crowd going early in game 2 of this doubleheader. Sammy going yard. Coming up big for the Cubs, putting them on the board first. And Sammy Sosa loves hitting them out here at Wrigley Field. Right now he has over 100 RBI on the season, and Sammy becomes the second player behind Jimmy Fox to have 30 or more home runs and 100 or more RBI for 9 straight seasons. Chip and Dave, that is amazing.
Yes, it is, Gail, as we go to our 5th inning. It's 6-0. Cubs have the lead, and Jose Hernandez got a fastball to hit, and he ripped it up the middle. Let's see if Matt goes to breaking stuff. Bouncing ball to short. 1 pitch, 1 man out.
A good call, Chip. Slider. Well, that's Clement's bread and butter. Keep that thing down.
Well, you look around this ballpark. These fans are ready for October baseball. And they have waited a long, long time. Heimel will be taken down. J.J. Davis. Young slugger, for whom the Pirates have big hopes, digs in for the first time today. Heimel works a scoreless inning with a couple of strikeouts.
This is a big man standing in the box right now.
And a big bouncing ball towards second. Rudzolanic shovels to first. 3 pitches, 2 outs. 6 men in a row retired by Clement, and I would imagine that Somewhere downstairs in the bowels of Wrigley Field, Tom Hellman, the Cubs' great clubhouse man, is getting things started perhaps for a post-game celebration. Here's Redmond. He's 1 for 2. Comes again, pinching in at the corners, thinking he might try to bunt. That misses upstairs and wants a new baseball. A standing room only gathering here at the ballpark. What a night in Chicago this could be. Nearly 3 million fans have come out. The audiences on radio and television at record levels this year. Interest in the local newspapers and the sports pages. Phenomenal. All because of the great support of the fantastic fans of the city of Chicago. A great job as always by John McDonough and Jay Blunk. The Cubs marketing department has had a wonderful product to put on display this year. And that's been the key. It's been a team effort. And for those folks who have toiled so long, so hard, and in such anonymity, I hope that they'll be sharing a special part of what could be a great celebration today, too. Redmond on with a 2-out walk. Here's Nunez. He's 0 for 2. Swing and a miss to Nunez. Dave, take us in that locker room for the Cubs. I mean, what is that sensation like when you're on a team that accomplishes so much and so unexpectedly?
Well, I think that's the key word. So, you know, unexpectedly. And I knew the Cubs were going to have a good year, but I thought they might be a year away from it. Now, I was part of the Oakland A's in the late 80s, only a September call-up, and in those years they won the division easily. So it was almost anticlimactic when you got to that point. But to go to game 161 and potentially do it is just a wonderful feeling.
Waco wants to chat with Matt Clement.
And you look back on a season that was so difficult for this Cubs ball club. All of the obstacles that they overcame this year. Injuries, losing Corey Patterson, Sammy Sosa going on the disabled list, Mark Grudzelanek out for a month.
On July 24th, the Cubs were 5.5 games behind the Houston Astros.
They were 1 game below 500 at the time.
And well, then they lost that day, went 50 and 51, went to Houston, and played great, and were right back in it. Ground ball foul. I think that's why this race has been so remarkable. You look back, and counting the 30-odd games that you play in spring training, 161 major league games, looking at almost 200 ball games, and coming into play today separated by 1 game in the loss count. Remarkable. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Crowd rising as Nunez, with 2 outs, has a man at first. Little chopper, and that's going to roll foul and out of play.
And they have a ball club that their longest losing streak of the year was 4 games.
Well, that's what good starting pitching will do for you, and is the difference between this Cub team and ones we've seen in the last 6 or 7 years. When you go to war with
stop
1A, B, C, and D as far as starters are concerned, you're not going to have many losing streaks. That's why this game is built around good pitching. 2-2. Fly ball, line to center. Lofton is there. 5th inning in the books. Matt Clements qualified for a career-high 14th win. They're getting excited in Chicago. 6-0 your score.
Two more steps, guys. Come on, Mom.
We've been to the video store on the dry.
Just buy them Honda dealer. But how? Our prices help. But it's our service that keeps our family of customers coming back.
Right now, get 2.9 APR for 60 months on any Accord.
There's only one. Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman, Schaumburg Honda Automobiles, just 8 blocks west of Woodfield Mall on Gulf Road. Schaumburg.
What I have seen on the field of battle has led me to question my purpose.
You cannot escape.
You have no idea what their weapons can do.
The Last Samurai. Rated R. Starts Friday, December 5th.
Chicago Cubs baseball is brought to you in part by Toyota. Get the feeling. Corona Extra. Miles away from the ordinary. And by your Chicagoland Ford stores. If you haven't looked at Ford lately, look again.
What a day in the Windy City. Indeed, in Dusty, we trust. And this Cub club as well. They're gathering outside the ballpark. That's Waveland Avenue. We're in the bottom of the 5th inning. Cubs have a commanding 6-run lead over the Pirates. 12 outs to get. And the Cubs will be crowned champions of the National League's Central Division. Huge crowd today of 40,121.
And new pitcher for the Pirates, Nelson Figueroa. Cubs saw him at PNC Park. He's about 5 different arm angles. Changes speeds pretty well. And going to that bullpen and using each reliever for 1 inning.
He's a guy that might get some consideration as a starter next year for Pittsburgh. Went 12-5. A sub-3-point ERA at AAA. That's an area where the Pirates want to try to improve. Their season unraveled when Chris Benson went down again with arm problems. Figure with Wells and Fogg. They have a pretty good trio, but a couple of more good starters cannot hurt. Angelonic rolls out to open up the Cubs' 5th. It's our Toyota fan of the game inning, by the way, Cindy Goodwin in Gardner, Illinois, standing by with Sammy Sosa coming up. Cubs add another run or so here in the 5th. Cindy wins. Fox Sports Net Toyota prize package, including a hat and a t-shirt. Home run number 40 came in the 1st inning for Sammy Sosa. Again, the monumental achievement for him this year. 40 homers, over 100 RBIs, despite missing nearly a month of this 2003 season. And now he'll have a chance to go to the playoffs for the 2nd time with the Cubs. But this time, the Cubs will finally end the monopoly held by the Cardinals in Houston on the National League Central Division crown.
Seems like every home run Sammy hits, it's some sort of milestone.
There's another line drive to right. Hit pretty deep. Makoviak, though, on the track, calls it in. 2 out. Well, this year, you recall, the season began. Sosa's first home run was number 500. That came at the Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio. Then Sammy Sosa equaled Ernie Banks. He passed Mickey Mantle on the home run list this year. And he and Barry Bonds, the next couple of years, are going to try to assault the record book. Sosa's going to move toward 600 next year. Bonds hanging in just a few shy of 660. In fact, he's 2 away from Willie Mays, his godfather's record. Edgar Bonds, with a healthy 2004 campaign, be the third man in the history of the game to get to 700, and then look out. Then the big wave comes. Sosa, A-Rod, all with huge home run hitting potential. It's going to be very interesting to watch these next 6, 7, 8 years in baseball.
That's amazing. I played with Sosa in '94, and Sosa led off games.
He was a much different player then. His nickname was the Panther.
You know,
sleek, gifted base stealer.
I've never seen anyone bust their tail like he has.
I'll lose the board with a 2-out walk.
Think about the last couple of years. Middle of August, talked about Karros earlier getting his work in. It was almost intimidating when other teams would show up at Wrigley Field and they'd be sitting in the dugout and they would see Sammy coming from the batting cage, 3 or 4 hours before the game every day in the middle of the season. It's relentless.
Back in the old days when Ted Williams was hitting with the Red Sox, there were opposing managers who wouldn't let his pitchers watch Williams hit in the cage. It was that demoralizing. Ramirez thinking about a home run, fouls it straight back, 0-2 your count. We're in the 5th inning. Dave Otto, Chip Carey. Those of you expecting to hear the voice of Steve Stone. Steve off today, celebrating Rosh Hashanah today. So, all of our Jewish fans, a very happy New Year. Steve will be back with me tomorrow for the season's regular season wrap-up on WGN. 1-2 the count to Ramirez. Goes up and out of the strike zone. We move along to the 6th inning. It's getting serious. 6-0. Cubs have the lead.